Joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, ESPN. She covers the Steelers. You catch her on Get Up with Mike Greenberg on ESPN as well. And with This Just In with Max Kellerman as well. She's all over the place. Brooke Pryor is all over the place. Brooke, what up?
Oh, not much. I am all over the place. I just finished packing for 3 different climates in like 3 days. Because not only will I do Get Up tomorrow morning, going to the ACC Championship on Saturday, and then I will go to Atlanta for Steelers-Falcons on Sunday, and then I'll fly back to Pittsburgh on Monday.
For those who don't know, Brooke is a Carolina grad. Gilio and I have known Brooke since she was at the Daily Tar Heel back in the day. And you're going to be at the ACC Championship game. And Gilio and I, being the state guys that we are, and I texted this to you, so I'm not saying anything here that I haven't said to you. Brooke is a classic case of somebody who wants it all, Joe.
She is. We've talked about this on this program.
All. So this Carolina-Clemson game is not coming down to a controversial onside kick, is it? Like
God,
the last
I hope
one.
Not.
Like the last one we saw.
Guys, my soul and spirit is so beaten down after the last 4 UNC sporting events that I have watched and emotionally invested myself in. I know that you guys have lived through years of this, but I'm a winner and I'm not used to this, and so it's been really hard to manage. I just want you to feel for me. I know you don't. I know no one listening will.
Yeah.
But I just want you to know where I am mentally.
They lost 3 basketball games in a row, Gilio.
3 meaningless basketball games in November.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
This is what
How could you stand it?
Is this Tar Heel stuff? I mean, there's NC State stuff. Is it the equivalent of Tar Heel stuff, Brooke?
This feels like I'm watching the 2011 basketball season all over again when they went to the NIT. I mean, no, just kidding. It's not.
That was 2010 when Duke won the championship, and you were in the NIT.
Yeah.
No.
You're correct. You know what, though? It doesn't matter. It does not matter what's happening in November and December. It matters what happens in February and March.
Correct.
And I know that in my brain, but my heart can't take it when you couple the losses with the football losses. Those just combination really beat me down for a little bit. And also, look, I got to be honest. I've been to 1 UNC game in person this year. It was the Notre Dame game. My track record is not great. When I actually pay attention to a game, it ends poorly for me. And I'm afraid that I feel in my heart of hearts that I'm jinxing my alma mater by even attempting to be there on Saturday night.
No, they're gonna pay you back. That's how it works for the Heels. Something
good
can happen.
Hope.
It will.
It will. It'll happen.
We can hope, but I'm a realist.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN, covers the Steelers. Watch her on Get Up with Mike Greenberg tomorrow in New York on ESPN. All right, to the NFL, where we are. Are we selling on the Buffalo Bills now? I mean, have we kind of shifted away because people are worried that we're reverting back to the turnover prone Josh Allen, and it's back to all things Patrick Mahomes? I get the sense that the Bills' love has faded over time because there's some big questions about Josh Allen at QB.
I think that with Josh Allen at quarterback in the long run, no, I'm not concerned about him. And yes, he is a little turnover prone, and that's even more glaring to me. It's less about Josh Allen being turnover prone and more about the fact that he doesn't have the defensive support, at least that we have seen. I need to see it to believe it with Von Miller being out. That to me is a huge, huge problem because they went out and got this guy to win a Super Bowl. You go get this guy so that you don't lose to Kansas City in the playoffs, so that maybe you can get home field advantage. I think that Josh Allen is a guy that he's going to take risks. He's going to make some bad decisions, which is frustrating to watch. But it's okay, you know what? He's going to do that. But on the other side, he's going to make some really great plays, some plays that really nobody else can make. And we'll have our defense pick us up when that happens. But now you can't really count on the defense to pick them up. I mean, maybe you can. Maybe I need to see it to believe it. We'll find out tonight. But gosh, I'm not selling on the Bills, but I'm I'm sniffing around the market. I'm checking with the mortgage lender to see what my credit is. Might get my money down for, not a deposit. That's what would happen if I buy. I rent, so I don't entirely know the whole process, but I'm considering making a listing on Zillow.
Fair enough.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN, joining us here on the Easter Automotive Group Hotline. That's Joe Viz. I'm Joe Giglio. All right, let's get to your team, Brooke Pryor. Let's get to them Steelers, because we finally found the person that Matt Canada can outfox. You just have to go against the coach who's never coached before.
Doesn't understand.
You just got to go get somebody who doesn't know how to call timeouts. And well, for the first half anyway.
You guys, I know, Giglio, I know that you're a hater.
Yeah.
And you've lived a lot to justify you being a hater.
Yes.
But like, this offense is not that bad in stretches.
Oh.
I need to see them put together a first and a second half. But you know what? I like Kenny Pickett. I think that Matt Canada is putting them in better positions. I still think that some of the play calling is a little bit predictable in the second half, when 2 weeks in a row you have guys in the third quarter for the other team saying, like, it's the same plays. That's a problem. I mean, obviously there's going to be some repeats, but maybe like hit shuffle or something. But you know what? I do think that maybe this is just a product of, like, shocker, the quarterback gets more time with his receivers. The run game gets, I think the way that they were able to play behind the O-line with Najee being out was really impressive. I think that was a good win against the Colts, even though they nearly gave it all away in the third quarter, and it was incredibly frustrating to watch for the second week in a row.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN. She covers the Steelers. Catch her on Get Up. Also with This Just In with Max Kellerman on ESPN on Friday. I feel like this is a story that combines a lot of things that you remember from your time here and with us and everything else. But I'm gonna start this conversation with a question about you. How many coworkers would show up to your birthday party?
You guys have no idea how excited I was for this question. I was like, if you don't ask me, I'm going to be so mad.
So how many coworkers would show up to your birthday party?
I will tell you how many coworkers showed up to my Friendsgiving party that I
Oh, okay.
hosted.
That's fair. That's fair.
I invited 3,
okay.
and they all attended, and they all brought their dogs. So I had like above average return on my invitations.
Now,
I was like above a 1.0.
If Sierra was throwing your Friendsgiving party, how many people do you think would show up in general?
Oh, like more people than I invited. Because if she's throwing it and she's footing the bill, like, it's going to be better than the mac and cheese I made, even though I do have the Linda's recipe from Chapel Hill. And
really?
I do. That's my secret weapon.
Oh man,
for
Linda's mac and cheese.
It's great. I had some conversations with nobody, like no sourcing on this.
All right, so real quick context. This is related to Russell Wilson, Denver Broncos quarterback. Apparently their off day, Sierra throws a 34th birthday party for Russell Wilson, and it was reported that about half the team showed up, which Giglio and I think that's a pretty good number, but because Russell Wilson is constantly getting dunked on these days, people went, but what about the half of the team that didn't show up for Russell Wilson's party? And this has now become a thing, and you were very excited for me to bring it up. So what have you been hearing across the league?
I will just say that in conversations with some fellow reporters, we all agree. Now, also understand, as reporters, we're likely to show up to a practice if you tell me there's going to be a free cookie and coffee. Like, I'm very motivated by the buffet that they provide pregame and also the postgame pizza. So if I'm invited to Russell Wilson's party, it's going to be nicer than just about anything I've attended in my life. I'm there. I hope that if I ever become as, rich and whatever as NFL players, that I don't lose my zest for going to gawk at someone else's house and how much money they've spent on this party.
Hell yes.
But, I don't think that this is as much of a story if we didn't see one of Russ's teammates screaming at him on the sideline in the last game. If we didn't also just sense a general discontent with Russ and the entire Broncos locker room. I mean, he had issues also in the past with guys in Seattle. And so I think when you take all of that into account, like, yeah, we're going to analyze every little thing about Russell, especially when you've spent $300 million on this guy. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's your quarterback. You would think everybody would try to find time to drop in, but also, like, is it inconsiderate to throw a party on the guy's one off day when like they want to spend time with their families? Were families invited? Were kids invited? Like, I need some more context. Is this like a wedding where it says like, no children allowed, and then maybe they have to make the tough decision, like I don't want to bring them, but like kids were invited, then everybody should go.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN, will let you go on this because how do you top Russ? I mean, but we're going to try here. We're going to try. Hey, have you ever heard of an NFL job where the coach was given a 4-year runway, a 4-year plan in the NFL?
No, I believe that this is a win now league situation. Yeah. And Matt Rhule is really just, I don't know what he's doing other than damage control for himself that then backfires and does not make him look good in doing it. It's a weird PR tour that I don't think he needs to go on because you got hired at Nebraska
you're
and
good,
this is
man.
in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
He's good.
Got it. Like, you're going to be fine, my dude. Like, you are back in a place where you know how to run a college program. They will let you be the czar if you want to be. Like, this is his element. And he feels the need to dunk on the Panthers on the way out in a way that does not feel entirely truthful. And I feel like there may be some things that are being misrepresented.
Well, the internet never forgets. There's video that surfaced of Matt Rhule's one of his first Zoom meetings with the team saying, like, we talk about patience and plan, but I want to win now. Like I want to, like we're in this to win it now. Because he also knows like these players might not be around for that long. It's not a 4-year program like in college.
4 years.
4 years.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. You don't get guaranteed time for anyone there. You might get like a year to rebuild to like get your guys in and stuff. But even then,
who does he think he is? Mike Tomlin?
Yeah. Exactly.
Didn't take Mike T 4 years.
There's that too.
There's that a little respect on our guy's name here, please. He's just showing off at this point, like, oh, you look at me. I'm going to win with Matt Canada. Ha ha ha.
Brooke Pryor.
You never miss an opportunity. It's honest. It's
always there.
It's
always there.
Tee it up.
It's always there. Brooke Pryor, ESPN. Catch her on Get Up tomorrow morning. I will. Bye, Brooke.
See you guys.